I'm Dan Fellows from Vodafone. At Vodafone I work across sort of 15 to 16 different group functions and in 21 markets. So trying to have one view of what social is, what digital is really, really important. Otherwise you have 20, 30 different interpretations. So the one thing today I think people take away is that social has to wash its face. You know, it has to deliver value for a business. It's not just about engagement, it's just not just about likes and retweets, it's actually about delivering value for your business. So I'm from Vodafone, but let's not dwell too much on that this evening. It's going to talk you through maybe the top 10 of social things that you can do, maybe you don't want to do. Maybe you want to go and tell your CEO tomorrow you should be doing it as well. So through a little bit of experience from Nokia, from Microsoft, and now at Vodafone, just thought we'd have a top 10. So anything you disagree with, you're encouraged to heckle me and shout out, and possibly anything I've missed out as well would be really good for you guys to feedback as well. So hopefully the presentation will work. There we go. That was quick. So starting at number 10, we have, I call it the virtuous circle. So depending on where you work and the different stakeholders you have, it's really, really good to communicate what you do, why you do as well. So everybody understands it quite clearly. So I've put this down into 4 specific areas. Number 1 is devoted to customer service. If anyone's a Vodafone customer, you might have experienced customer service at Vodafone calling us up at various moments, but you must be devoted to your customers. You must understand what they need, where they need it, and what time as well. Ideally, you then want to drive these advocates, influencers through to your brand, to your activations, social activations as well, across Facebook, across Twitter, maybe LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat as well. Then once you've actually engaged with the customers, you can collect some really, really sweet social data, collect user profiles as well, which will then enable you guys to sort of, in a very friendly way, not creepy at all, because I'm sure you might tweet me, to obviously target these guys across your own websites, your own apps as well, but also across third-party sites as well. So for me at Vodafone, we've got like hundreds of stakeholders that can all do social much better than me, but it's good to communicate to these guys why we do what we do every day. So at number 9, we have social is the world's largest focus group. If you ever need to know what your customers want, what products they want, what services they want, just ask them. It's really, really that simple as well. So to create a product, I used to work at Microsoft and we used to create products without actually talking to our customers, which obviously didn't work out very well in the end. So just ask people. Use Twitter or other social networks as well. It's relatively simple. So at number 8, social is channel agnostic. What do I mean by that? Well, social doesn't just happen on Facebook, on Twitter, on social networks as well. For me, the real value for you guys is building communities on your own digital platforms, whether that's your My Vodafone app, it's your website as well, but actually having your communities on your own digital properties and not really giving that value to third-party sites as well, because the real sweet spot is actually driving people to your own platforms and obviously keeping them quite close in terms of your products and your services and making it as simple as possible for them to really engage with you, but also obviously clearly to buy your products and services as well. At number 7, social is a marketing function. One of the guys at Microsoft used to call it ROR, which, does anybody know what that means, ROR? Return on relationship. Doesn't that sound terrible? It's not return on relationship, it's return on investment as well. So social has to sort of wash its face in terms of a marketing function because you have to really deliver sort of commercial value in terms of what you're doing. How do you do that? Well, I suppose you could look at a social valuation strategy. So first of all, you're going to look to benchmark what you're doing across all of your different markets, look at the most engaging channels, look at what content's working as well. Then start really, engaging the smart people in your team, the analytics teams, and looking at the value of a referred customer. So what's the value of Ian, who's come from maybe a social activation? He then comes to maybe one of your Vodafone properties as well. And also look at Ian's value as a socially engaged customer. And what you do by that, you start to actually go to your CEO, go to your boss and say, I actually can prove to you the value of social to the business, which then enables you to scale up, to get people, to get technologies, to get software as well, and really drive what I think we're probably all very passionate about this evening is social value. So number 6, So yeah, understanding the value and delivering the commercial proposition to your company is something I try and do every day with limited success. So these are two little journeys you can look at. These aren't obviously real figures. We've got socially referred customers, so that's someone that's come from a social activation, and then we've got people that come from a non-social activation, so probably from search or from direct as well. So two things for me that were always quite exciting is when you actually get into really geeky stuff like Adobe Omniture, and you can start actually tracking the value of a customer that's come to your website, and you start looking at two really key things: the conversion rate of that customer to a sale, but then also looking at the average order value that customer is sort of worth to your business as well. So once you can start mapping out that value to your business, then investment comes as well in terms of your social networks and your social platforms. If only that was true, that would be absolutely amazing. Could retire tomorrow, but obviously it's not real. So please don't tweet that. It's just a joke. So yeah, conversion rates. At Microsoft, I think we found the average customer that came through social was 5x as valuable as a customer that come from search. So that's clearly music to my ears, that actually what we're doing in terms of social activations, maybe partnerships as well, is driving much more incremental value through social. Number 5, halfway there. So work with the best companies. Apologies if your company's not here tonight, but I couldn't put everybody on there as well. But companies like StoryStream, they're a young company down in Brighton. I think there's 5 or 6 of these guys. They're incredible, they're lovely. They sort of cut their teeth with Porsche about putting the voice of the customer within their showrooms as well. The customer's talking about the products, the services. I think you call it social proofing as well. So curating that conversation, publishing it in the showroom, publishing it in stores as well. Really great guys. And we've got Social Bakers, who are, I suppose, social data intelligence. Adobe, quite a small company you might have heard of. Obviously Brandwatch, Engaged Sciences, and Lithium. So as I say, there's many other companies out there, but these guys I've worked with sort of 5 or 6 years and have always delivered for me. Number 4. Yeah, define your social media measurement and framework. Really, really important, because you're all clearly amazing at what you do in your jobs, but unless you can actually define that and actually put some KPIs against that, then it's sort of worthless what you do. So from experience, we have no more than maybe 2 KPIs, because then it just gets complicated and you've got to go and explain it to the sort of CEO who gets confused. The moment you mention a hashtag, you have to explain what the hashtag is. So then if you can actually just really narrow that down to maybe, I've got 4 examples here, but really 2 I think is really important to drive value from what you're doing in social. So acquisition, clearly quite straightforward. Acquisition across social channels, so building your followers, building your fans. I think we had sort of 55 million fans across Microsoft, but actually there are only 200,000 engaged. So getting a big number is completely irrelevant. It's actually what you do with those customers as well, and how you engage them and how they ultimately work for you in terms of what you're doing. Reach, obviously reach is very important. It's very much around paid now as well, because there's no organic reach left on Twitter and Facebook, regardless of what they say to you and try and sell to you. And social referrals, obviously tracking that person that's come from a social activation and coming to your website as well, so understanding that customer and their needs and also the value to the business. And then obviously the key one for me is engagement. You know, what is that customer doing with your content? What is that customer doing? Are they liking? Are they retweeting it? Are they sharing it? Are they endorsing your products and services to their friends, peer-to-peer recommendation, word of mouth as well? Really, really key. So for me, out of those 4, engagement, it's so important as well. Number 3, only 3 left to go, and I've got no idea what it is. So I keep changing with this slide. So social is not lead generation, but people generation. But I think you could also say social is people generation, not lead generation as well. So it's really important to understand why you're targeting customers, why you're segmenting customers as well. But it's also important to understand that social is a marketing function, as I said at the beginning, and it really has to deliver value for what you're doing and your business. Probably the most contentious one of the 9, number 2. Data collection is the new engagement. I think when I started off in social 5 or 6 years ago, it was about engagement. Let's get people to like what we're doing as well. But I think the last couple of years, data is really, really important. So what we do with data in the business, you've got to be clearly incredibly responsible as well, because I think we have about 500 million customers at Vodafone, so it's really, really important what you do with the data, but also how you can deliver back a personalized experience across all of your platforms as well, and how you can serve customers relevant offers at that right time as well, and not sort of piss them off during their day or sort of interrupt what they're doing as well. So I think for me, the greatest sort of output of social really is around the data play, which is happening now, but I think we're all learning about it, how it sort of marries into a DMP, a data management platform, across your business as well. And then probably if we're playing buzzword bingo, favorite slide, it's the new hyper-personalization. I'm not really sure what that means, but it's really around hyper-personalization, so believe me, it really is. Number one, any guesses? What's number one in the chart? Cat gifts. How did you know? Have you seen this? Yeah. Love guys called Dan. Very cool. So, at number one, I've really hyped this up, haven't I? It could be terrible. And at number one, we have, there we go, retention. Retention is so, so important of what you do. It's actually 30 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than retain one, but I thought I would just put 10 times more expensive. So social has got such an important part to play across your business. Obviously, you're working with your CRM teams as well, your outbound communications, but really social's got, I think, the most important part to play across the business with retaining your customers by surprising, delighting them. Never let them down if you can. And clearly there's occasions where I've let customers down quite a lot. But I think when I put this slide in front of our CEO in terms of, about retention as well, and you start mapping it back, it's £3,000 to £4,000 to actually acquire a new customer. But if you can actually retain that customer in terms of a lifetime value, the loyalty you're going to take as well, the recommendation peer-to-peer, for me that's really sort of a key takeaway from today's presentation. And I think we don't have any more music. No, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that.